Morning everyone, it's time for your weight loss motivation to start off this week. I'm going to talk about last week really. I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to talk about revelations. I'm not getting on biblical, don't worry, there'll be no breaking of seals. And I'm going to be talking about responsibility. So first things first, I think let's just talk about last week and let's be honest about my experiences. So what happened was I was 37 last Monday, and as you know, because I put the video up on my birthday. So what happened was, it was okay when I first woke up, but then sort of realisations kicked in throughout the day that it was the first birthday without my mother. Mum died in February. So it was kind of like I didn't have any presents, because Mum would have done that. Now, I don't expect anything. It's not that. That's not the point, you know, because life's not about, you don't deserve anything in life and don't expect things. You get you get, that's it. You don't deserve anything. You get what you earn. So it wasn't really that. It was just a bit of a shock, to be honest. Because what basically started happening throughout the day was I started to get all these like comments and stuff about how inspirational and helpful I am. And what basically happened was it sort of brought it home that actually the actual reality of the situation was conceptually when I woke up I had nothing. So I didn't do it to get sympathy, because I'm not a sympathy person, because I'm a weight loss strategist, and when people start giving sympathy out, you're going to end up at the bottom of a bottle of wine, bottle of whiskey, cigarettes, drugs, TV, whatever. That's what sympathy does. It forces you to do these weakening behaviours. It's alright to let the chimp out of the bag and be a bit emotional on occasion, of course, for a human. I mean, I was pissed off on Monday, I really was, and it was one of those things where but then you've got to go back and you've got to look at it as for what it is. So basically, a lot of people started then coming out and trying to give me sympathy, which I get, I understand, because that's what we're conditioned to do. The point is, I made the point to say, well, actually, that's the reality of the situation. Now, through the last 9 years since I started losing weight, all that's happened is really I've gone through a stage of revelations. So I've learned different things. I've made some very tough decisions. I mean, losing weight was a tough decision. Cutting certain people out of my life was a tough decision. Not taking advice from people who you would assume care about you because they're not doing it to help you is a tough decision. Launching a business is a tough decision. Putting everything you can into making that business grow. Following your passion is a tough decision. Believing in something when you're going against what everybody else says, you know, is a tough decision. So tough decisions had to be made, and they still have to be made. And it was just a revelation on, you know, I put myself in a position where somebody that's being called inspirational, motivational, helpful, and all these things, you know, woke up on his own with nothing on his birthday. And the best thing to come from that was I can deal with it, and it took me into a place where I said to myself, right, I am never, ever, 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 ever letting that happen again, which is the second point about responsibility. I took responsibility for that, saying I'm not going to let myself go through that again. So I made a pledge to myself to take responsibility for the action. There was no finger pointing. There was no, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault, it's life's fault, it's whatever's fault. It's my fault. I put myself there. So if you're overweight, ill, blah, 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 at some level you've got to take responsibility for that. Not blame, not blah, blah, blah. You've got to look at it and go, right, especially if you're overweight, good example like I was, you know, when I changed, I took responsibility and I made a pledge to myself never, ever, ever to feel that way again. That's what happened to me last Monday. So all the revelation did was cause me to say, actually, I am never, ever, 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 ever going through that again. I'm going to be prepared for it, I'm going to manage it, I'm going to do whatever I can to avoid those feelings again. And that's where you have to go sometimes to do that. The most important thing I had was a strong foundation, rock solid foundation, to know that I could deal with those problems, I could deal with those issues, I could deal with those things. And that was the most important thing that I had. So I had the foundation in place through my coaching, through my health, through my strength. Didn't stop it hurting like hell, but it made me feel it properly. I didn't then go out and drink, I didn't then go out and smoke, I didn't then go out and take drugs, I didn't then go out and just watch telly and numb the pain. I felt it, which then made me make a pledge to myself to never let that happen again. So the lesson to everybody else is this: when things happen to you, feel the pain, accept the pain, feel the emotion, but you've got to quickly move to a place where you say, right, this isn't happening again. What needs to happen? What do I need to take responsibility for to stop this happening again? And some real revelations came in last week. I had some real breakthroughs, strong breakthroughs, and some tough decisions need to be made and changes need to happen. And that's okay, I can do that. But if you don't accept responsibility for where you are, you can't ever make the changes that are going to push you forward. So you sometimes have to go to places that you don't want to go to do things that others just can't do. So to do that, you've got to feel it. Life's not always happy, joy, joy, happy, clappy, fun, fun, fun. It's not. People call me positive and motivational. I am, but it's based on a foundation of steel that allowed me to deal with that last week. No sympathy, don't want sympathy off anybody, want effort, want people to go out and learn the lesson of sometimes when a revelation comes along and reality comes and punches you in the face, you've got to punch back with strategy, with things that you need to do. So, key lesson for today, take responsibility for things, feel things, accept things, don't numb them, go out, take action, deal with them. Have a good day.